Run to win proved to be a powerful theme that was about to be tested in an epic championship battle.
All right!
On one of the coldest days in the history of Green Bay, Wisconsin, the NFL championship game was destined to earn a legendary nickname, the Ice Bowl.
It was a total shock to wake up, have my alarm radio go off, and have a sound in my ear saying it's 13 below zero.
We find later on that the chill factor is minus 49, I think, at the start of the game, minus 57 at the end of the game.
It's cold!
The feeling of the air, it was like being in a meat locker. You know, you can only get so cold. And that was as cold as I'd ever been in my life, and I think anybody ever been. If you looked in the stands, all you saw was that steam coming out of people's mouths. You could only hardly even make out faces.
Vince told us before the game, he said, I don't mind the offensive and defensive linemen wearing gloves, but I want the running backs, receivers, linebackers, or defensive backs to wear gloves. So everybody's going off moaning and groaning. And I went up to the equipment man, I said, Dominic, I said, give me a pair of brown gloves. He'll never know the difference.
The first play of the game was almost a disaster. Donnie Anderson fumbled. You know, it was like trying to hold an ice cube, but the ball came out. Thank God I recovered it. The referee blew the whistle. The next thing happened was he tried to pull the whistle, which was a metal whistle, out of his mouth. It stuck to his lip, and he had to rip it out of his mouth, and his lip bled, right? It cracked his lip, and the blood froze. And from that moment on, there was never another whistle in the Ice Bowl. We played the entire Ice Bowl listening to the commands of the referees saying stop, and everyone did.
Right here. Here, Coach. Yes, sir.
They're not defensively, they don't seem to be coming off the ball. Maybe 53 and 52, see?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
The Packers took a 14-0 lead on a pair of Bart Starr touchdown passes to Boyd Dowler. But Starr was sacked 8 times. In the second quarter, Dallas scored on a Starr fumble. At halftime, the Packers' lead had dwindled to 4 points. Field conditions were steadily deteriorating.
By halftime, the field crusted over. And in the second half, that crust kept getting thicker and thicker. And it was just a rock-solid field. Conditions worsened dramatically.
The footing was so bad, and the hands were so cold, and the receivers catching the ball was difficult. So one score could make a big difference. And that score of Rensel's was like a knife in the heart.
Dallas took a fourth-quarter lead on a 50-yard pass from Dan Reeves to Lance Rensel. At this point, the Packers' offense didn't seem capable of playing catch-up.
We've really struggled offensively in the second half. On 10 series, on 31 plays, we gained a -9 yards. So we were getting our tail kicked in the second half. I certainly had a little sinking feeling that maybe this was not to be.
With 4:50 remaining, the Packers faced their biggest push of the season. The end zone was 68 yards away. The temperature was 16 below zero.
I don't know if anyone knows what it is you find when you reach down inside for something and you have to make it happen. But certainly, we remembered July. We remembered the training camp, remembered the hard work, the sweat, the tears, the pain, the suffering, the whole package. We remembered that. And certainly Lombardi's ability to push us to our limits helped us in that situation, because this was a situation that needed everything we had, each and every one of us.
What the Packers had were the values that Lombardi had preached for 9 seasons: pride, courage, and determination. Facing brutal conditions and Dallas's bruising doomsday defense, the Packers put together a march of mythic proportions.
The Packers call time again. That's all the timeouts the Green Bay Packers have. They are still inches away from that goal line. Just inches. 16 seconds remaining. 16 seconds remaining.
On third down with no timeouts left, Lombardi decided to go for the win on one final play rather than settle for a field goal. The call was 31 wedge, a running play designed for the fullback. But Bart Starr didn't tell his teammates he was going to keep the ball himself.
Here are the Packers. Third down, inches to go. To Bader. 17-14. Cowboys out in front. Packers trying for the go-ahead score. Starr begins the count. Takes the snap. He's got the quarterback. The Packers are out in front. 20-17. There's 13 seconds showing on the clock, and the Green Bay Packers are going to be world champions, NFL champions for the third straight year.
The drive epitomized the sheer force of Lombardi's will. It also showcased the fierce determination of cast-off back Chuck Mercene.
He took me aside before that game and he said, Chuck, this is why he brought you here. This is why you're here. You're starting this game. It's your first championship game. We know what you can do. Just do what you can do, and you'll help us to win this game.
On his finest day as a pro, Mercene gained 34 of the drive's 68 yards.
I had a first down run right away there, and I remember Lombardi saying, good run, Chuck. You know, because it was right at the bench, right there. What a feeling.
You can take a player like a Chuck Mercene. I can tell you how tall he is. I can tell you how much he weighs. I can tell you how fast he is. But no one can measure his heart. And he was all heart.
Mercene believed he was going to get the ball on the game's climactic play. Everyone else did too. But Jerry Kramer claims he knew Bart Starr's secret.
Chuck thought he was going to get the ball. There isn't any question about that. Maybe Bart said it as we broke the huddle. He said to me, I'm going to keep the ball.
I maintain that I never heard him say that. And I don't know anybody in the huddle that did. I know a lot of guys in the team thought I did score the touchdown. I heard Brown right, 31 wedge, on 2. And I'm ready. I'm going in. Looks like I'm signaling a touchdown, but I'm actually trying to signal the referee that I'm not assisting, aiding, or pushing quarterback into the end zone. And I would not have done that, you know, if I didn't think I was going to get the ball.
Jerry Kramer made the most famous block in NFL history when he got down low and pushed number 75, Jethro Pugh, out of the way. Starr followed Kramer into the end zone.
We've never seen a finish like this one. Many a thriller in the 8 years of broadcast that we've done for the Green Bay Packers, but we've never taken it down to the wire like this for an NFL championship.